You're getting worried, yes indeed. I know exactly what you need. A little sunshine will make you feel okay. Now look here, give the blues a change. Find a sunny place. Go and paint your face with sunshine.
I will call the meeting to order at 7:33.
Perfect.
I
First
will-
item,
I will also note that I have a meeting at 8:30, so hopefully we can get everything done before 8:30.
okay. Next item on the agenda is your minutes of, where do I have it? Minutes from August 23rd.
Make a motion to approve minutes.
Yeah, I second that motion. Those were the minutes that you sent us, right, to read?
Yes.
Yeah, I probably
Yeah,
sent
that
them
was just-
after I did. In future, is it
Okay.
better if I send it also again just before the meeting?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
2 times.
Okay, I
Okay.
second the motion to approve, because
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Bless you.
hi.
Aye. Okay.
Okay. The reports. I had the 2 new people are doing good work. I've got one of the newbies working next to Nancy in there. Yesterday, one of the people we hired last year, Matt, sat for almost 3 hours of executive session to take care that the selectmen would have their meeting out in the public on both TV and YouTube. So I think there's enough work to go around. One of the new people is a new woman who lives in Bridgeport. She just came back after living a couple of years in South Korea. Came back with a South Korean husband, and after working really hard to get her, she had to get a new social security card because it got lost on the way here and there. Had to convince the bank to give her some documents so that they could do direct deposit because the town doesn't spend money on printing checks anymore. And she has been doing editing from home. She did, oh dear, she did recreation from last Monday actually, but I haven't put it up on YouTube yet. It is ready to replay on Friday.
That is a hot meeting, Pua.
Apparently, which will bring us to another matter later. Anyway, so we have people set up, and I feel confident that I will leave town plan and zoning first Monday in October in capable hands because I have I have a medical procedure the next day which involves fasting and other medications. I'll leave it at that. So far, so good. I don't think any of them will take my place yet. It might take them a couple of years. As I reported to you, I think somewhere along the line, I put the job description in Tony's hands because
Yep,
I think
I read
a
that.
job search should be, it should be in the hands of administration. They know what they want out of the TV station. Any questions on personnel, equipment? I have, yeah, okay. Any questions on the reports I sent you before
You mentioned
business?
with the budget that we still have $5,000 in left for capital. Is that for the end of the year?
That's for as much as we need. And this is
Okay.
after the grant. The grant was moved into our budget.
Okay.
And I just got numbers today for purchasing a new broadcast server, which will have some features that will make it easier for anybody to run the station. I hope.
So
Everything takes training. Yeah.
So yes, and it does. Let me ask you this. The Nancy and the other, I don't know the other woman's name, so I'm sorry. Or you might have said
That's
it
okay.
and I blanked out for a
I
second.
didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The
And,
ones in the meeting right now. Yeah.
Hello. Anyways, I'm Teresa.
Yeah.
But are they using say if Nancy needed to be her backup or vice versa, right? And she's doing editing at home. Are they using their own computers?
Anna is the woman in Bridgeport,
Anna.
and yes, she is. She's using her own computer. Her husband is an engineer of some kind and works in Middletown. And she says, "Oh, my husband bought me Premiere Pro because he knows I like to do video editing."
Okay,
Um,
well, that's
no,
wonderful, but I think
no,
that we should try to use that grant to get some computers, especially something that's as mobile as possible.
okay.
Does that sound okay with you, or are you looking, I'm thinking more laptops. I mean, desktops is
Oh, yeah. No,
ridiculous. Okay,
laptops.
okay.
No, a desk. I found I wanted to get a desktop for a couple of reasons, but one of them is it's harder for somebody to come into town hall and walk away with the one in here.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, we could do that. And
I
do
mean,
we
I think
have
we're
to go
pretty good
through
on,
policy? Yeah,
yeah.
policies on people taking equipment home. We'll
I mean,
look at
it
that
only
later.
makes sense if they're working from home, right?
Yeah,
And I mean, first and foremost,
I
there's no
use
need
my
to be
computer
interrupt.
from
Yeah,
home.
right,
I do lots
exactly.
of work for the station from home on my own computer.
Right, and
Yeah,
I do how much stuff for recreation from home. I
yeah,
mean, all the stuff that goes online, the Facebook and all their Facebook posts for activities and stuff. All do it from home. The only
yep,
thing is, I use my own stuff,
yeah.
right? But but it is what it is, right? But that doesn't mean that's the way it has to be
Yeah,
here.
one does a better job with one's own equipment.
Exactly.
I think I think there's room in budget for that, and I think we should
Okay.
definitely look into that in
Yeah,
the future.
Okay.
I think that's,
Cool.
yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. So I just gave you some personnel updates under business. One thing that we bought that because we had a big cushion from farmer grants, and this was at the suggestion of Selectman Sheila McCrevin, was an OWL camera. It is an OWL Meetings 3, which is their latest model, and works a lot better than the model I saw like on the order of 10 years ago. A couple of guys in Darien had done research to figure out how can you make meetings open to the public when you don't have a cameraman? And one of the solutions was this OWL. So
Mhm.
this is a different model, upgraded. I've looked at some of the YouTube demos online. Sheila really wants to use it in the large meeting room. Maybe it will work. It is sort of made more for the meeting room in the back. There is at the end of September a kickoff meeting for the Beachy Road School Building Committee. We'll definitely use it there sometime next week after my vaccination and getting my car checked out. I'll see if Sheila wants to get together, and if there's free time in the big room, we'll experiment with that. Maybe we'll send you invites, depending on what time it is. See if you want to log in and see if you can see the OWL.
I think that's a great idea. You already
Yeah.
Yeah.
said a couple places that it can be used, and
Yeah, just I can't. It might work in the big room, and I have to think about if the public is sitting there and wants the loudspeakers real loud, how to deal with that. I think there's a way. But that's
on
one
the
thing
big
we need to
room.
test.
The
Yeah,
big room, are we referring to the
the
main
main
room in the
meeting
town
room,
hall, or? Okay.
yeah, the one
Got it.
that's being used right now for inland wetlands. Anyway,
So let me hop in with a couple quick comments there to tie it back to the previous part of the discussion. As I understand the OWL, it needs to be used with a laptop with the OWL tools installed on it, which I believe it fits into another part of our discussion of why we should really be looking at getting a couple laptops that we can have the OWL apps loaded on it. And related to that is, are you doing anything with NDI?
a lot.
Okay,
That's exactly how we get the WebEx meetings onto both
Okay.
79 and YouTube.
right.
And that's why
So,
I don't want to give up the laptop we have for that
okay.
right
So
now.
So those
Yep.
laptops, I would think we should get probably at least 2 laptops with the NDI software and the OWL software loaded on it.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, the trick with the NDI is, near as I can tell, everything has to be on the same network.
There
And
are
most-
ways of getting around that, but I think for
Yep.
most of this stuff, we'd want it on the same network anyways.
Yeah. Well, right now I've got there's the wired network and the wireless, and I guess I have to talk to IT if I can get their attention about whether they're related. Also, NDI has a section called Bridge
Right.
that theoretically you set it up and anywhere in the world can be your input.
I mean, in theory, if it was on that internal network, and that computer was connected to a VPN, wouldn't that in sense be the same network?
I think it has to be the same subnet,
Okay.
the issue.
Okay.
And so the question is the wired network and the wireless network on the same subnet? If they
Yeah.
are, then we're great. If not, in theory, NDI remote would take care of it. And NDI remote would give us the ability, and is worth thinking about, of doing stuff like having a Board of Ed meeting at Beecher plugged into the TriCaster.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a chance to see the last Monday's Board of Ed meeting. They had presentations. They have a new assistant principal who was talking about the results from the Smarter Balance Assessment. They didn't share it on screen. He had it on a screen in the South Assembly room. He walked back and forth from the laptop so his voice goes in and out. I was able to get it up because I had NDI on the computer here, and I put it on the screen that Nick was able to feed in to the meeting. So I wish I had known before, because
Yeah.
there was some patching up and some other stuff. But
So I think all of this comes back to, it seems like it would be a good idea to have a couple additional laptops with NDI, as well as capable of supporting the OWL if we find that we want to start using and expand the use of OWL.
okay. Okay, so noted. I will check with Vancord, I believe is the name of our IT consultant now, about subnet. That's vague terminology for me, but I will phrase it to them as you said it and get an answer.
And
Other-
actually,
yeah.
if I were in the office right now with you, I could tell you if it's on the same subnet or not.
Okay. I know you're too busy to drop by and check, but
Right. But some
let me ask the people who are supposed to help us first.
right.
Who are paid to help us. Okay. That's on my to-do list. Other things I've been thinking about. I don't know if I can pay somebody to take out some of our legacy equipment. The old soundboard that we used to have that went with an iPad, I'm going to see if I can offer to Chris Kelly, who works on OGAT, because he's a musician. Actually, I could ask Nick. Maybe he can use it, because he's doing sound stuff with the place formerly known as the Amity Teen Center. Oh, 10 Selden. He's been doing work on some of their concerts. But there's a lot of stuff. I had imagined archiving old meetings and getting them on the Internet Archive. So it was worth holding on to a VHS tape player and converting some of our DVDs to digital. But there's no time. There's no time for that. So a lot of the field equipment maybe we'll start using it again when we start having more meetings. I'm hoping we can cover some of the road race this year. But it's almost more urgent to find homes, or we can't recycle electronics anymore, you know. So find somebody who can use the parts. That's almost more urgent than getting more stuff in. However, headphones fall apart fast, so I should get some more of those. There are some microphones that keep going to sleep, and I'm thinking if I buy a different base for them, maybe that won't happen. There are small things that we could use, but definitely, you know, we have enough money. We could buy a second owl if we decide we want to have a second owl. And if there are any big repairs, we can pay DNR to come in and do that. And that's what I would see with this. Do you want to see the quote from Telview? Because it came to 12,000 something.
I would like to see the quote.
Okay. I'm going to share. There we go. Share. Okay. So, try to get that out of the way. Let me push you over here. Can you see it still?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So it's good until December 1st, which is my birthday. The main thing is the Hypercaster AIO. That's all in one. The thing that attracted me to it is the ability to record a stream from NDI. I've been using NDI into our TriCaster, which works much better than what we had before. It's faster, it's clearer, but I can't record it. With the new model, I can record it. What else? If something else is going on YouTube that we wanted to record, theoretically, I could record that too. Connections to help us get it to all our channels. I still don't know if anybody from has Frontier that watches us. Carrying over our software Smart Caption Live. Have to pay again for the Loudness Pro because that's somebody else's development. And IP capture, that's the recording on. We get a trade-in credit for giving them back our old Hypercaster, which is $1,500 off. And then there are the basic shipping and installation charges. 2 years of Telview Care warranty on the first year came to $3,300, a little bit more. And the entire package is $12,765.13. Let's see, the other pages explains how Telview Care works, but he didn't fill those in, and all the terms and conditions. If you're interested, I could email this quote to you, but I would use this for a PO request to the finance department so we can get this installed before the end of the year.
So I think it would be good if you emailed that to us.
Okay. Okay. Should I hold off on submitting it until you have had a look?
Well, Teresa, Mary,
How long is the PO process in the town?
It depends. I don't. There's a woman who has been working for the Board of Ed who comes in and does some of the work that. Oh dear, Pat Swope. Pat Swope retired.
Yeah.
Somebody's been covering some of her work, but I don't know if she's permanent, and I don't know if they are replacing Pat. When she was there, it could take up to 3 or 4 weeks between my submitting everything and the OWL, because I put it in with a memo that they really wanted to try it out very soon. That came in. That came in on the day that Sheila had hoped to try it out, but that was just a couple of weeks. I mean,
That's,
I could put an extra nag on it if we thought we were in
no,
a
no,
hurry.
because I was gonna say, if we're talking a couple of weeks, like, which is standard for these kind of things, I would say put it in, right? And have us review, just have us review it. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to review it within the next couple days. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, if,
That might-
and why hold it up any longer?
Okay.
I mean, like, if you
So-
said to me, Teresa, it usually takes them a week, then that's you know what I mean? That's different.
So then, what I am hearing is that we are authorizing PUA to submit the PO,
Hmm.
pending any changes that we might see upon reviewing it,
Correct.
right?
Sounds correct.
Which
So-
I
Shall I
expect.
give you? Yep.
Which I expect, based on what you've shown and sort of Teresa's comments, we're probably not likely to have any, but I
No.
think that that's sort of a good way to do it.
Right. I can hold off on submitting it until Monday. I know you all are busy people and, maybe you'll have time over the weekend.
I mean, just if you email it to us, I think we should be able to definitely review it by Monday. I don't see a problem with
Okay.
that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yep. Good. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay. Oh,
So do we need a motion to approve this, especially since it is we're talking $12,000?
and it was part of if you want to, it would probably make Tony happy, but I will point out that this was part of a grant submission that you had
Right.
approved
Right.
last spring.
Yeah,
I
so
would
we
use the
approved
same
it.
verbiage that Alden just used for his motion.
Authorize the purchase of the hypercaster pending review of the quote. How's that?
Okay, and I second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Just, Teresa, or actually, Pua, you're right that this is something that we approved getting the grant, but now we're talking about how we're actually spending the grant. And since
Right.
it is a big chunk of change, and especially, I think it's a good way to dot the i's and cross the t's.
Yeah. It's a major part of the operation too. I mean,
Right.
this is how we get it out there.
Or as they say in the notes, or in the minutes, after a long discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm working on making those minutes more succinct. I might start attaching reports to the end of those for posterity's sake. Okay, I sent you earlier this morning. I sent a couple of sets of dates for 2023. One is with fourth Tuesdays and the other with fourth Wednesdays, and did not see any major problems with the expected holidays. But that's for you to have a look at, because we have a few months before we have to submit those dates.
So I will note that my every Tuesday evening is booked for me through the end of April.
Okay.
So
Okay,
if
so-
we do want to do any Tuesdays, I can't do them through April, but we could move back to Tuesdays in May. But Wednesdays should be fine.
I'm fine with Wednesdays. If you and Mary are fine with
Yeah.
Wednesdays, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I am too. I'd rather have it be a set date either. Yeah, and the Wednesday is fine with me too. I have no problem.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Okay. You can decide that next month. Look them over. Another thought for you to get to think over is what are the budget to the town, what it ought to look like for next year. And it's so weird to have to do it right now when we don't know what the expenses are going to be for personnel going forward. We're paying our people more, but I believe we have really reliable people.
That's a good
Oh.
thing, and sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to pay a little bit extra to get people that'll stay and actually do the job too.
Yeah. And they're all college graduates. So, this is a special meeting. The next thing I listed was next meeting agenda items. That one will be a regular meeting. But if you think of anything I should put on, let me know. Or let Alden know because he's the chairman. Other than that, if you don't have any questions about what's on the agenda, I think you are free to adjourn.
Any other questions or comments, Teresa or Mary?
Paul, you said something about the rec meeting before?
Yes. I have it. I sent it to Anna. She sent it back to me within 24 hours.
Oh, cool.
I've got it up on television. Let's see, scheduled for Fridays when we start reviewing everything that's been in the past week. So it will be on after the Woodbridge Board of Ed. It will be on at 8 o'clock in the morning on
Cool.
Friday and 8 o'clock in the evening on Friday.
Yeah, there's quite a bit going on there right now, and I know they're going to be having a special meeting soon about a couple
Yeah.
things going on. So, might
Which
be
is why we
interesting.
want to try. We want to try using the owl for a hybrid
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for Jim to tell me when he thinks he'll be able to get you guys into the main meeting room for that. But and hopefully sometime next week Sheila and I can test it. See what happens. Yeah, change is hard. Raising pool rates is hard.
It's quite a touchy subject.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right.
Can imagine.
It's all right. It's been there 23 years. Let me tell you, it'll take more than pool rates to get me upset. My motto, and it's always been, and everyone knows that, even Alden, if the kids are safe and they're having a good time and learning, then it's a good day.
Yeah,
But so everything else doesn't, it's extra, it's fluff, doesn't mean anything to me.
that's why they're lucky to have you, Teresa.
Thank you. But cool. Then can I make a motion to adjourn so Alden can get to his next meeting?
Very good.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, at 8:01.
Hey, I'll second.
Okay.
Perfect. Everyone have a great, it's almost fall. Friday is,
know.
I think, the first day of fall, something. My mom told me that.
Oh.
I think
Yep.
it's sometime tomorrow evening.
Ah,
Okay.
yes. So happy
Oh.
first day of fall.